For analysis on the Iran-Israel conflict, let's go to Barbara Slavin from the Stimson Center in Washington. She's a distinguished fellow who focuses on the Middle East and North Africa. Barbara, great having you first. Second, how significant is the U.S. deployment of B-2 bombers to Guam in shaping Iran's decisions?
Well, it's significant, certainly, if the United States is planning to join this war and join the Israelis in attacking Iranian nuclear facilities. I'm not sure it's going to change Iran's mind, though. I mean, what we've seen is a fairly defiant response from Iranian officials. They still have an ability to retaliate, not just against Israel, but also against the United States, if the U.S. does use those B-2 bombers to bomb Fordo.
And Israel's Operation Rising Lion was marked by deep strikes in Iran. How do you assess its impact on Iran's nuclear trajectory and the region?
Well, it certainly seems to have set back the Iranian program, but one concern that I have and that many non-proliferation experts have is that Iran may have covert facilities, that it may have centrifuges and enriched material in other locations that we don't know about. And if that is the case, then a decision may be made by the Iranians to try to build a nuclear weapon, at least a crude device, in very short order. So the irony may be that the Israelis, in trying to destroy Iran, in bombing Iran, may incentivize Iran to actually go for the bomb.
And coming back to the U.S., do you see any influence from U.S. public and the local political debates, especially discussions about support or restraint playing in Washington's stance?
Yeah, there's been a very fierce debate going on, and I've spent time doing something I normally don't do, listening to podcasts by Tucker Carlson and Steve Bannon. These are, of course, right-wing podcasters here in the United States, but both of them seem to be very opposed to the United States joining the war, and they are featuring a variety of guests who are opposed to America getting involved. Now, Trump listens to these people, but, he also may feel that this will not be difficult for the United States to do, and that the Israelis don't need that much more assistance, and that Iran will be deterred from attacking American targets in the Middle East, because if that happens, then the United States would respond very robustly. So we're in a very kind of nail-biting period where we don't know whether Trump really will pull the trigger or not. He seems somehow torn, I think, between his instincts on this, where he thinks the United States could score some sort of decisive victory, but many, many members of his political base are cautioning him not to get involved, that, you can start this, but you don't know how it ends.
And Barbara, in case you're also listening to other more normal podcasters, I'd like to get a sense of how do you see global media coverage influencing diplomatic efforts or escalation risks?
I'm not sure that it is, really. This is a decision that comes down to what Donald Trump decides, and with all due respect, I'm not sure he's paying much attention to mainstream media in the United States or media anywhere else. I think he does pay some attention to the Tucker Carlsons and Steve Bannons of this world, because these people represent a very important constituency in his political base. These are so-called restrainers, some people call them neo-isolationists, who think the United States has gotten involved in enough wars, particularly in the Middle East, and doesn't want to see the United States getting involved in another one. But Trump doesn't have to run for re-election. He won't. And so he may think this is a legacy issue for him, and that if he is the one who can somehow destroy the Iranian nuclear program or destabilize the Iranian government after 46 years in which the United States and Iran have been adversaries, he may just go for it.
Barbara Slavin, thank you for your insights. Great having you.